I wish I could say this was fake, but it is not. I was 18 years old when I blocked my friend of 10 years. She had been acting weird and not the good kind of weird. She always had some kind of drama going on in her life that made it impossible to be friends with her. One day she told me she was coming over. When she did come over, she walked over to my mom and told her, "Your daughter is a lesbian." In that moment I had no idea what had just happened. Had my own friend of 10 years really just outed me to my own mother? In my house. I felt this sick feeling wash over me. What the hell was my friend thinking? I'll call my friend Person E. You see, we had been friends for such a long time. I felt that there was a genuine connection between us. We would do everything together and I felt that nothing would dampen our relationship. I knew that it wasn't uncommon for people to seek drama, but I didn't think she would go this far. I remember my mother saying to me through her tears, "Tell me it's not true." By this point I was crying, and I wasn't able to speak properly. My friend Person E was still standing there, just staring at me. I remember I ran upstairs to my room and just cried. After all, what was going to happen to me now? I felt at this point that the whole world was ending. About a week later my mom finally came around. I knew that in her eyes I was a disappointment. But I was hoping that maybe she had gotten over it. He hasn't still, but she's slowly learning to accept. As for my backstabbing friend, I immediately blocked her on every platform possible. I haven't heard from her since. I'm currently in therapy. But not because I want to be. I'm here because my mom wants me to be her normal daughter again. The only person in my opinion who needs therapy is my friend E. I will keep updates going on how this plays out for me. Now that I've been reveled. Relevant comments. Your mom has you in conversion therapy? How old are you now? Are you financially dependent on your mom? Can you get out of her house? OP, I am not dependent on my mom. But I don't have any place to go. I am currently looking for a place to stay that's not here. And I am 19 years old now. I am so glad that you got away from that awful therapist. I was so worried about your mental well-being. I hope your mom realizes you are basically still the same you that you have always been and to accept the outward changes. Lots of love headed your way from a complete stranger, but one wishing you the best. OP, I wish she would realize this. I really do, but she has not. She reminds me every day that I'm a disappointment, and with my birthday coming up, she's already told me I am getting nothing from her until I learn a lesson. Thank you for your kind words. I really need that update. Hello everyone, OP here. I have taken the time to read through all the comments I have received. I am very overwhelmed and emotional by just how many people have commented such beautiful things and words. This has made healing a little bit better for me. For those that have asked what my ex-friend's original intentions were, I really don't know. To be honest, I don't know what she thought or what she was thinking when she did what she did. I have not contacted her to find out. She attempted to show up to my workplace and apologize to me. I did not forgive her. After all what she did and put me through, I would be stupid to forgive her. She has attempted to make multiple social media accounts as an attempt to reach out to me. After asking multiple other friends of mine, no one knew why she did this. I have decided not to get to her level. Omion on my original post mentioned a good way to get revenge. But the more I thought about it, the more it sounded wrong to get to her level. Multiple people have also asked if I can move out anytime soon. I wish I could say yes. But I cannot. While I do not rely on my mom for financial things, I do rely on her to give me a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in. Currently I am working more shifts so that I will soon be able to move out. I have not been attending therapy. It is in my right to choose not to go. I have tried to talk to my therapist about this situation, but they won't hear of it. As their job is to make me realize my true gender. I have never heard such words in my life. She's not very bright at her job. As for the rest of the situation, I wish I had more of an update, but I do not. I thank everyone from the bottom of my heart for your kind words, thoughts and prayers. You are all such amazing human beings that are very wonderful. My mom still has not accepted the fact that I am what I am. She won't talk to me, but that's okay. I don't mind. I might be a disappointment to her, but I always be her child, the one she gave birth to. Thank you for reading up relevant comments. Sounds like your therapist isn't a clinically trained psychologist but some kind of anti-homosexual quack, trying to force you to be straight. Is your mom religious? OP, my mom is religious, yes. As for the therapist, yeah, she's messed up. He even does texting therapy with me, which is even more dumb. It's not helpful. So I completely agree with you. Story 2. This is going to be long one and throwaway for the obvious reason. I know the title makes it seem absolutely obvious, but let me explain. My fiancé, Josh, has a close friend group of guys from college we see rather regularly. at least the ones that stayed in our city, including his best friend, Matt. His best friend's wife, Addison, has a friend, Lila, that was integrated into their group before I met my now fiancé. So apparently Lila has had a crush on my fiancé before I met him, and even tried to get Matt's now wife to set them up. Josh made it clear he wasn't interested. Unfortunately, it seems she never gave up hope that he would come around. Fast forward to Josh and I meeting really hitting it off, so he wanted to introduce me to his friends. We met up with everyone for drinks one night, and apparently Lila wasn't given a heads up Josh was in a relationship by Addison, because the look on this girl's face when he introduced me was somewhere between pure disgust and shock. Everyone else was friendly and welcoming, she was icy, and Addison was a little quiet at first but then warmed up. I get it, she was probably trying to be loyal to her BFF that had a crush. Fast forward about a year, Matt and Addison are getting married with Josh being the best man and of course Lila MOH. I didn't feel any sort of way because I'm secure in my relationship, he's not interested in her and he just had to walk down the aisle with her. Matt and Addison even set it up so he could sit with me at the reception, much to Lila's displeasure. Well, at the reception, as she kept coming over and trying to flirt with Josh, saying to not forget that the best man is required to dance with the MOH. Which is flatly just told her, that's not a thing. Well, about 2 weeks ago we got engaged, yay. There is a group chat I was added into once I had established my own friendships and wasn't just Josh's girlfriend, where people organize pub nights, beach trips etc. Josh announced our engagement in it a day later and everyone other than, you guessed it, Lila, congratulated us. Huge shock, right? Well, now to the issue. We are here for Friday night around 1 to 2 am-ish. Apparently Lila decided to message Josh privately. The first was something like, I was just thinking about you, followed up with a semi-nude photo, then, you're not married yet, and a bunch of other inappropriate stuff. He didn't see it until he woke up yesterday morning. We were just chilling in bed checking emails etc. and he just says, what the F at K? Then hands me the phone. Obviously I was wicked pissed off, as was he, so he just shot back a message telling her that it was highly inappropriate and disrespectful and not to contact him again. She then attempts to backpedal with excuses, she was drunk, and then, oops, I sent it to the wrong person, don't tell OP. The last part pushed me over the edge and I asked him to screenshot it to me. I told him I wouldn't include the photo, revenge porn is never okay, but I was going to post it in the group chat because this is the last straw, as long as he was fine with me doing so. So I did, and I said that we were done with this disrespect and would no longer engaging with someone who would do something like this. Not the most mature on my part, but I think everyone needed to know. And wow, did the chat light up. Lila pretty much immediately left the chat, but everyone else was so shocked she would do that. Lila went crying to Addison, because she said I bullied her, who feels somewhat torn because she wishes that it was handled privately, but she has only escalated any attempts to shut her down. So Reddit Ada for putting her on blast by posting her texts to my fiancé in the group chat to hold her accountable. Everyone else is disgusted with her, but my fiancé's best friend's wife feels it should have been handled privately. Relevant comments apprehensive. 7743 So let me get this straight. She repeatedly chased your fiancé, after repeatedly being told no respectfully, privately and by Addison, completely disrespects you and tramples all of fiancés and your boundaries. Then has the gall to expect you give her respect by handling it privately. Respect is given when earned. Blow that group chat up and show the group what their friend is really like. NTA for sure. Maybe buy her a dictionary with the word respect highlighted and tabbed, because she clearly has no idea what the word means. OP, she exited the group chat so quick once I posted it. I did note that there was a basically nude photo that was sent, but said I have too much class to send it. I have zero respect for that, shameless. Not to my face, but apparently she had made comments when we were started getting serious that she didn't think I was his type. One of our other friends said, well, we know what isn't his type for sure, and she got mad. I think her bad behavior was tolerated for too long. When you keep pushing, eventually you're going to push too far or push the wrong person. On Lila not being a true friend, thanks, I am super excited. Oh hell no. She would never get an invite, and I only used friend because I didn't know what else to say, as I kind of rage typed this, haha. I don't know if this was her last-ditch effort to get him. One of the other women, who is a long-term partner to one of Josh's closest friends, texted me privately with some choice names for her and said, "Ya girl, burn that shit down." Lila has tried to hook up with her boyfriend of 9 years when she on a long-term work trip, so we feel similar about her. Update. So I promised an update to my original post. I was surprised at the amount of responses I received. Thank you to everyone for your words of support, and also for making me like I wasn't a total psycho for sharing the messages with everyone. Ish read through some of the comments and got a good laugh at some. One person had the balls to tell me I should treat her in kindness and show grace. Why give you credit for being willing to do it on the post, not sending a private message, because I got some pretty rude private messages, but yeah, I don't owe her any sort of kindness. On to the fallout. Josh and I are obviously fine and that was never going to be an issue. He's amazing, we communicate well and don't have secrets. Matt came over to talk to Josh and apologize, though he had nothing to apologize for. He had a long talk with Addison about how he felt it was way out of line to tell me it should have been handled privately. He said he told his wife that Lila is an issue in their relationship as well because she always invites herself along when they are doing things or going out as a couple. She constantly complains and then always gets too drunk, so she has to spend the night. I guess he has said something in the past, but she always lets Lila steamroll her. He put his foot down and said she needs to set boundaries with her and they need to take time apart. She agreed but expressed her fear of Lila's reaction. Well, apparently that conversation went about as bad as you'd think. She decided to do it over a phone call and Lila lost her mind. She accused me of gaslighting. I am pretty sure she doesn't actually know what that means. Then she tried to explain what happened again, which went from it was sent to the wrong person, it wasn't even a big deal, Josh has always lead her on, so she thought he wanted it. What? She was so wasted she doesn't really remember sending it, and finally blaming Addison for not trying hard enough to hook them up. When she finally told Lila that they need time apart so she can focus on her marriage and work, she absolutely lost it. She told her that she can't end a long-term friendship over the phone, so she was going to come over because she owes it to her to say it to her face. She told her no, and Josh told Addison to let Lila know that she wouldn't be let in and the cops would be called. She hung up and they both blocked her number. This girl is really wicked insane. I had a talk with Addison and she apologized for trying to smooth things over because she didn't want to deal with the wrath of Lila, as she has seen her go off on other people in the past. I forgive her, but I'm going to move slowly with that friendship to see what her actions show. I do feel bad because that was obvious a toxic friendship, which seems kind of like a trauma bond, but I'm not a psychiatrist. I just never want to get in the way of Josh's friendships, and I know Matt is very important to him. So she's gone, at least for now. But regardless whether her and Addison eventually reconnect, we are having nothing to do with her ever again. This all actually tightened my friendship with Sarah, who has been the long-term partner of another one of their friends, as she has been a major supporter. We always got along really well. She's come out for girls' nights with my other friends and I too. She was ready to go to war for me, ha. So that's the silver lining out of all of this. I hate drama. Honestly, it worries me this person is shaping young minds for a living because she is obviously not mentally or emotionally well. I love my partner more than I ever knew was possible, but somehow this just made us even more solid. I'm pretty sure we haven't heard the last from her, but she has no power in my life, so that's that. I guess the moral of this all is don't be a pushy hoe bag and send unwanted photos and texts. No means no, kids. Relevant comments on the type of person Lila is totally true. I know she lies about her age to guys because she thinks being single at 30 is like the most horrific thing. I honestly didn't plan on getting married, it wasn't a big thing for me, but now I can't imagine not marrying my partner. She has to be a deeply unhappy person despite putting on a show about how glamorous and amazing her life is. I'm curious if she ever tried to hit on Matt, because I wouldn't put it past her. On Lila's and Addison's friendship, she really doesn't engage much with other women except to brag. Addison is the only one of us other women she really spent time with, but I think it's because no one else tolerates that stuff. I think this is being used as an excuse to finally not have to tolerate her. I honestly don't know if she has any other friends outside of Addison. And the funny thing is, Addison was the only one she had an individual relationship with. So she pretty much cut herself off from everyone. She doesn't seem to have any interest in building female friendships because she's more of a guy's girl and girls are always jealous of her. I don't know the details, but apparently she was there for Addison during a super messy divorce and her mom went through a bad depression. I guess according to Matt, whenever Addison tries to establish any sort of healthy boundaries, she throws that in her face and Addison backs down. Hopefully this time it will stick. I'm just happy I never have to fake cordial with her again. And I feel kind of bad now knowing she was kind of being emotionally blackmailed and guilt over having Lila help her during a hard time. When someone helps you with a plan to use it to hold over you, it totally changes things. Feeling you owe someone loyalty to the point you put up with their crappy behavior can't be good for your mental health. That's the thing, it's not like I posted it on social media or went scorched earth and sent it to the school she works at. On her and Josh, thank you. Women can be our own worst enemies. My man wants to jump me when I'm yucky after hot yoga. I love that we intellectually spar and teach each other. Opening your partner's mind is great and I still get excited for him. This dude got me Taylor Swift tickets that were so good and probably paid way too much. He pretended it was just for me and sang along too, haha. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to connect with each other in the comments below. Until next time, be kind, be curious, and I'll catch you in the next video. Corner Stories signing off.